What's up, YouTube? It's Big Fish here with another reaction video, and you know we're back with our favorite ladies. Okay, I'm just kidding. Before we start the video, I got two things to say. We got Kash Patel as the FBI director. Let's go. And then the second thing, Mitch McConnell. He was a Republican representative. He was part of the GOP. The Grand Old Party, yeah, he finally is retiring. Thank God. He voted against Pete, RFK, and Tosi, but he actually voted yay for Kash. Shocker, right? Yeah. All right, so we got one of their insufferable women here, Jasmine Crockett. There was actually a couple of black women that are very insufferable that are on the Democratic side that are always bashing Trump. We got Joy Reid. We got Letitia, of course. Actually, there's four. There's many. And then we got Jasmine Crockett. And then the women on the CNN panel who will be with Scott Jennings. They're insufferable as well. Oh. Let's hear what Jasmine Crockett's got to say. Representative Jasmine Crockett weighs in on Doge's firings and layoffs. Let's get it.
Republicans currently rule the House, the Senate, and the White House, but our next guest has been working hard to tip the scales for Democrats. Please welcome back Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
The insufferable Jasmine Crockett. She didn't want to touch Alyssa.
I don't know about that. They giving me hell, honey.
Yeah, but you give it right back to them. A lot of them don't do that.
Absolutely. It's a must in this environment,
That's
though,
right.
Because they will steamroll right over you. And unfortunately, we see that ever since day one, baby, that pen been going and it ain't stopped and it's steamrolling over.
Executive order after executive order because they don't know how to even do it. And they're losing their heads. They like, oh my goodness, how are we going to even respond to these executive orders? We can't catch up. This man's too fast. Trump doesn't sleep. Biden was sleeping every day. Trump.
For all of our rights and our liberties and our freedoms and everything that we thought was the foundation of this country, our Constitution.
Yes.
Seems like we're saying, well, nope, with a pen, get rid of the Constitution. With a pen, get rid of impoundment and other laws that exist.
Impoundment?
Do you think that Americans just didn't believe that he would go with that Project 2025? Or what? What was that? I mean, he said, I don't even know what it is.
Again.
Remember?
Oh, I remember, honey.
Yeah.
I remember there was actually a hearing that we had in oversight, and it was right after he said, oh, I know nothing about that Project 2025.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we had a witness, and I mentioned that his name was mentioned 312 times
Yes.
in Project 2025.
Yes.
So I was like, this is interesting. He don't know nothing about it, but he's all through it.
And if it's his name, he's riveted to it.
No. And he's relying on the people that absolutely pulled it together.
She didn't have no proof to back up those claims. She just yapping out her jaws, just like the Democrats usually do. Look at these two together. The insufferable duo. Oh my gosh. How long could you stay in a room with these two? How much money could they pay you to be in a room with these two? I don't know. I need me a couple milli. A couple milli. Dilly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I mean, I think that there are those that just said, I want to do something different. Yeah. And so we know that typically when people are feeling it, especially in the economy, they tend to just go the other way. The problem is that this wasn't the guy to fix anything. This is the guy that is the king of breaking things, as we can see.
Yeah. Well, Congresswoman, Elon Musk and
What is he broken?
the team have been infiltrating and dismantling
Come in the
federal
comment
agencies.
section.
He says he's rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, all while gaining access to some of our most sensitive data. So you sit on the Doge subcommittee run by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are you getting any more clarity on what exactly Elon and Doge are doing?
She want to be Republican so bad with that red jacket on.
Listen, interestingly enough, there was a court filing that came out, or there was the order that came out from Judge Chuckin yesterday, right? And one of the things that the White House and the DOJ is currently saying is that, oh, Elon has no power.
Yeah.
Elon isn't doing that.
He's not an employee, and
So-
he doesn't head the agency. They
Right.
say.
He's
So-
tech support, I think is what they say.
So who's lying is my question. But somebody lying, right? Because they
Trump gave him the official power to do what he's doing now, and no one can stop him. Y'all can be as mad as y'all want, but guess what? Y'all still can't do nothing. All you can do is yap, 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 yap.
been like, oh, Elon is cleaning it up, right? So someone's not telling the truth. And I hope that the lawyers are the ones that are telling the truth, because there is a higher standard when it comes to practicing law. This is why Donald Trump's lawyers tend to lose their law licenses.
Yeah.
But, I don't really know what's going on. And that
Funny that she just said that, because Trump lawyer just got ASAP Rocky free. I'm just saying.
that is why the attorney generals really had a hard time meeting that burden for TRO,
I'm
is
just
because
saying.
we can't say exactly what he's doing. But the problem is we've never in this country, at least in my lifetime and in most other people's lifetimes, experienced someone who is so ingrained. And so we're going to have to start talking to some of these people that are getting fired. And we're going to have to find out from them, who is it that told you that you were experiencing your last day at work?
Yeah.
Talk to us about these little teenagers running around. Was it one of them?
Well, they're doing it through OPM.
Yeah.
Because I have friends that work there, and they got the notice, and they got it from the Office of Personnel Management.
Yeah.
And so, but Doge told OPM to do
Right,
it.
and that's what we've got
I
to get
could
to the heart of
testify
it.
to that. I know all about that. But let me ask you this, Congresswoman. We're also seeing mass firings of federal workers across agencies
Nothing
like
y'all
the
can do
Department of
about it.
Education, the
Just yap.
VA, the CDC, the FAA, even the USDA. In some cases, they've had to unfire critical employees, like our nuclear safety specialists, but they didn't have their government email addresses active anymore, so they can't find them. So on what grounds are, I know you can't make it up, it's like I'm writing a movie. On what grounds are they laying, a very bad movie, on what grounds are they laying off these workers, and how will the scale of this impact everyday workers who are concerned about the price of their eggs?
And nuclear arsenals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
Thing one, thing two, Joy's Dr. Seuss, the bad Dr. Seuss. She can't be the real Dr. Seuss because he go to him. Green eggs and ham, baby.
I don't really know what authority they have to do anything.
Yes.
I walked in
He's
and
the
I didn't get to
president.
read the entire article, but earlier today, it seems like there is someone who was fired that was the head of an agency,
Yes.
and a judge ruled that firing was illegal. People seem to be surprised that the first felon that we ever elected to the White House commits crimes, but, or break
Don't say felon, because guess who husband's a felon? Rico.
the law. Right, breaks the law. But clearly, he has no respect for the law whatsoever. And so, for the most part, it seems like they've been going after probationary people.
Right.
Because probationary employees do not enjoy the same protections.
They lack some protections.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
Why hire
it'll
more?
be interesting to see where
We
the
don't need 'em.
unions go with some of these lawsuits and how successful they are. But again, ultimately, I think that he's trying to get to his favorite court. The court that we know we all love to hate.
Yeah.
The highest court. I think he's trying to get there and hoping to get some cover for all the nonsense. After all, this is the same court
Yeah.
that gave him immunity.
That is
so
true.
that he could go out and do some of the illegal things that he's
Do you
doing.
think they have a limit, though?
Nothing he's doing is illegal. He's just using his executive power because he's the president of the United States and this is what we voted him in for. And they're big mad. They didn't think he was going to find out this fraud. I cannot wait until Cash gets into his role. I want to see some Democrats in jail. I wish there were some Democrats who was in jail right now for what Elon has found. This is some nasty work. They really out here this mad because he's doing what we ask. We up, they down. Oh well, get over it.
Court?
You know what? I keep trying to point people to the TikTok decision. Not necessarily because of the subject matter,
Yeah.
but more so because basically they said, no, this was signed into law, and in a 9-0 decision, they would not allow him to unilaterally overturn it. So we will see how well they hold up, but we know that this administration keeps threatening judges. If a judge hands down a decision that they don't like, they talk about impeaching that judge and getting rid of.
Because these judges are making horrible decisions. Especially these immigration judges. I think, 12 got fired? Land these people free on the street and they're pedophiles, rapists, murderers? Oh, nah, y'all wildin'. This Democrat Party is wildin'. I want to see AOC in jail. Look.
Rid of that judge, and they won't be able to get rid of these judges because the standard is too high. But he may end up telling some of those Supreme Court
Hasn't been
justices
100
that
days
it is,
yet.
it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
And they potentially will leave because he did that last time.
Well, I want to ask you about Democrats. You're obviously leading next generation voice in the Democratic Party, and well, Trump is moving at this breakneck
That's a
pace.
sad leader
It
right
feels
there.
like signing all these EOs, doing these long-ranging press conferences in the Oval Office. Democrats seem to not be getting their footing on what the message and strategy is to push back. We think of the leaders chanting, "We will win" outside of Treasury, which was widely panned. You've talked about Democrats needing a branding overhaul. Are you satisfied with the approach so far, and what do they need to
Look at these fools. Look at these fools. He don't even believe in it. He like, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. Look at this sad face. Look at this pathetic face. Grandma. They like, what the hell? He's like, this is stupid. He's like, brother, what are we doing here? Is that Omar? Whatever her name is. Ain't they trying to deport her? Whatever.
do to kind of get their mojo back?
You know what? I think that just like the rest of the world, we've got a bit of whiplash because
y'all goofy.
for some people, even those that voted for him, they said, well, we've been here before. And we didn't fall apart the last time he was here, so we won't fall apart this time. And so I think that while we had the playbook right there for us, Project 2025, I still think that even some Democrats were like, oh, well, he's just going to do what he did last time. And he's not. World leaders are recognizing that he's not the same. I mean, he's 10 times worse. And imagine that. This is the guy that
And the reason he ain't the same, because he picked the right people this time. The first time was like an experiment. It's like you're doing your first science experiment, you F up and you get a D, a C. Second time around, you come back to another experiment. You had practice on that last one. You get an A. This is Trump this time. Except he got an SSS plus. He's a superhero right now. This man almost got 2 assassination attempts on him. I think 3. But 2 definitely. He survived. God's like, hey, y'all gotta stop playing with my man Trump. He an OG.
foresaw how many deaths during COVID, right? And now we had Ebola breakout. Now we've got measles breaks. Like this is bird flu because they were some of the other people
All under the Biden administration.
that got fired.
USDA firings.
Yeah, no. And he's like, oh, well, wait a minute. Like this is just literally not even partisanship, in my opinion, at this point. This is incompetence. And I think that, no, seriously, it's incompetence.
Stop clapping.
And I know earlier y'all were talking about bring back the bushes. I'm with you, honey. Like, listen, I mean, you know,
That was some sense of normalcy, democratic
correct.
norms.
And I keep
ask
saying
quickly
that,
one thing. Would you support Democrats shutting down the government as a bargaining chip to push back against
I
the
don't.
White House?
It's not as we don't have the
Do
power
it.
to shut the government
Bad.
down.
Well, to
Do it.
refuse to vote for funding bills.
I
which-
absolutely support that we should not be voting for this funding bill because this funding bill is going to gut the things that we care about. And I don't believe that we
Like
can
what?
enter into good faith negotiations with people that literally could care less about their word. We saw what happened with the continuing resolution that kept the government open until March 14th because Elon sent out a tweet that changed the trajectory of negotiations that had taken place with duly elected members of the House, the Senate, as well as the president. So my concern is this guy has decided that after monies were appropriated to literally turn off the spigot of money.
That's crazy. Even my laptop, or even YouTube is like, we're done with this video. Okay. The unsuccessful Jasmine Crockett came through to talk about absolutely
Just at
nothing.
will, because
They're big mad because they can't do anything about what Trump and Elon doing. They got them in shambles. They're scrambling, they fumbling, they looking for the football, and boy, we already in the end zone. This is wild. All right, go down to the comment section. Tell me how you felt about the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you. Peace.